We'll leave that there and take you live to Newcastle Airport, where Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is speaking.
So much to offer in tourism as well as in economic development. We know that it's been a powerhouse of the New South Wales, our national economy, for a long period of time. And it has a bright future with new energy projects, with new employment prospects, new prospects of advanced manufacturing here in the Hunter, as well as tourism and sustainable economic activity. This region has so much to offer. The beautiful beaches here of Newcastle, the Central Coast and further to the north. The wonderful asset that is the pristine environment of Port Stephens and the extraordinary Hunter Valley that attracts so many visitors. Now, this airport has the potential to open up as a gateway, not just to other parts of Australia, but to the world. And these upgrades that are taking place are aimed at doing just that, maximising the potential that's here in this beautiful region. The best asset, of course, of this region is its people. This is an extraordinarily friendly community, one that sticks together, that binds together. You feel that sense of community whenever you are in the Hunter region, and that's why it's such a pleasure for me to be here today. Happy to take questions.
So the opposition leader has talked about, has advised, if you like, business and sporting groups not to get involved in the Voice referendum. I wonder when you've seen a rather confronting cartoon in the Fin Review today along those lines. Are you concerned about the tone the conversation about the Voice is taken?
Look, we'll continue to be positive, and this is a positive initiative that has arisen from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people themselves, who gathered after years of consultation at Uluru in 2017 and determined that they wanted constitutional recognition and they wanted to be able to have an advisory group through the Voice to be listened to. And we know that you'll get better outcomes when you listen to. And one of the things that we have seen is business, unions, faith groups, sporting codes, all have a common interest, have examined what is being put forward and said, yes, that is consistent with our views and our values. It's consistent with the reconciliation action plans that have been put in place by businesses around Australia. They understand that when you listen to people, you get better outcomes. And they'll continue to be strong advocates. Every single sporting code, AFL, National Rugby League, Football Australia, Cricket Australia, Tennis Australia, the Olympics Committee have all combined to say yes to the referendum that will take place in the last quarter of this year, as have major business organisations, the Business Council of Australia, the Australian Industry Group, the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, individual businesses all saying yes. Faith groups, the Catholic Church, the Greek Orthodox Church, Muslim groups, Hindu groups, Jewish organisations, all combining to say yes to the Voice. People who examine it come to the view themselves that this is a positive step forward on reconciliation. It will advance our country, and I sincerely hope that Australians vote yes in the last quarter of this year.
Are people's mortgages more expensive? This is Peter Dutton's argument, because you are so, quote, obsessed with the Voice that you've taken your eye off the economy.
Well, if you have a look at last week, I think you were probably in question time. It was the coalition that were asking every question about the Voice. We've been talking about the economy and putting things in place about the economy. The coalition under Peter Dutton have nothing to say except no. No to every initiative that's put forward. And just over a week ago on July 1, you had new initiatives begin. Cheaper childcare began on July 1. Increased access to support for home ownership to be expanded began on July 1. The initiatives that we have on cheaper medicines have continued through as well. The $3 billion of energy price relief began, of course, to be rolled out in partnership with state and territory governments on July 1. This is a government that's been concerned with our economy and assisting to take pressure off cost of living whilst not putting pressure on inflation. And we've seen inflation falling, record jobs growth of 465,000 jobs in our first year, and an increase in the surplus from the $4 billion that we predicted in the May budget. So we are very much focused on the economy. What is extraordinary is that in between the budget, which was handed down in May, and the 5 weeks of parliamentary sittings, barely a question was asked of the Treasurer of Australia about the economy or about the budget. Peter Dutton is more interested in culture wars than he is in helping on issues of the economy. He just says no to everything, and that's a matter for him to explain.